Yeah.
No, it's not good for me.
But I had to die. I can see
No, it's got to be far between.
No, it's on the PC. There's some cookies here.
Watch out, they'll give you diarrhea.
I'm trying to concentrate.
Yeah, I got my people.
Get to they like
Thank you.
I'll just bring you. Okay. I'll let you.
Did you get one of these?
I did. But a giant size one. Yeah.
oh yeah, that's what's up.
The additional part. Let's go, Mayor. Oh, okay. Good. Great.
Card for Tom.
Oh, okay. Thanks. You got the thing on donations. Is everybody here?
No.
You get the letter? I call this meeting to order of the Oak Hill City Council for November 7th, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. The clerk will call the roll.
Mayor Daniel E. Wright.
Here.
Councilmember at Large Tom Oxley. Ward 1, Councilmember Diana Janey.
Here.
Krista Hodges.
Here.
David Perry.
Here.
Ward 2, Councilmember Steve Hazlett.
Here.
Charles Smallwood Jr.
Here.
Benitez Jackson.
Here. The invocation tonight will be led by the Reverend Sonny Craft of the Oak Hill Gospel Tabernacle, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Council Member Krista Hodges, and then a special rendition, the National Anthem of the United States, performed by Pastor Greg Hurley of the Solid Rock Worship Center in Oak Hill.
Let's pray. Our Father, our God in heaven, we praise your holy name. We praise you. We thank you, Lord. We thank you for this privilege, this opportunity that we have to gather here as a group. The privilege and opportunity that we have to gather here and to look after the business of the city. And we pray for your presence and your direction throughout this entire meeting. We pray that everything that will be done with no personal agenda, everything that is done here will be for the betterment and for the future of this city and for all its individual residents. We'll give you the glory and the honor and praise for all that you do here, trusting that each and every one, once again, has the city's best interest at heart. And we pray in Jesus' holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and broad stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Mayor, I'd like unanimous consent that the chief of police be recognized for some remarks, brief remarks.
Without objection.
If could, maybe a moment of silence in remembrance of Louis Reynolds. Louis passed away last Monday. Louis was 70 years old. He was a 20-year veteran of the police department, retired, I believe, in 2003. And his wife, Polly, and 2 kids survived him. So just a moment of silence if we could. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Is Reverend Hurley left?
Mhm.
Oh, I was just going to say, will he be here each meeting to do that? Getting back for December and January and February. It was.
Simultaneous.
Extremely well done. A great rendition.
In the prayer. Not tonight.
Which brings us to the introduction of new employees, office staff, Melissa Smith, Lisa Keffer, and Robin Cassidy, and street department, Joshua Sopio, Nathan Kessler, and Joshua Rolls, police officers, Grace Mitchell and Austin St. Clair. Madam City Clerk.
These are all employees that we've just hired within the last month or so, and we're glad to have each one of them. And we're glad you came to work for us. So if you all would just stand up
That's what I was saying.
and then
Madam City Manager, could they come to the front? The mayor, and you get a picture with it? And the
that's
chief?
what, yes, come up front and we'll get some pictures.
Where did you get that letter? Were you saying-
You had to make a speech.
Mine was in here in this packet.
I
Did I
printed
give it
off
to you?
the packet, but I didn't see it.
Mine.
That's okay. I just didn't know if it was online.
I'll get a-
Maybe not today.
Well, you're some of us, boss.
Where's the mayor?
You want me to hear Mike?
Yeah. Where's the mayor? It doesn't sound good. It's something Wait just a minute, Aaron. Mayor, stand up there, please. By unanimous consent.
Yes. There's an objection, Mr. Perry.
The chief just objected.
Right there, perfect. 1, 2, 3. I got it.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for coming. I'd have wore red if I got the memo. Thank you, guys.
Mayor, Mr. Hurley.
Oh.
He stepped back in.
They wanted
That's cute.
Reverend Hurley, thank you very much. It was an outstanding presentation of a difficult anthem to sing, I've always been told. And so appreciate your time and your wonderful effort in the Star Spangled Banner.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I ask could you come back every month and sing this? I guess that's a no.
I'll come anytime.
Okay.
As long as I'm here.
All right.
Mayor, he has consented to be here at the December meeting
Oh, really?
for the prayer and Christmas,
A Christmas Carol.
the national anthem.
The 19th?
Is it the 19th?
I don't think it's that late.
Oh, is it?
Should be the week,
The 12th?
the 12th.
12th. Reverend Hurley, we'll put you down for the invocation on the 12th,
I can do that.
December.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Presentation of the West Virginia Community Development HUB program by Stacy Thomas. Hello. Okay, thank you.
In each direction, should be enough for everyone.
I am Stacy Thomas with the West Virginia Community Development Hub, here to speak about the HubCap program, which is our Communities of Achievement program that all the council members are getting a handout about. You guys may recall, I was here in the spring, I believe it was March or April, and at that point in time, we were asking for your resolution for support for funding for this program, and USDA has awarded the funding through the Rural Community Development Initiative for us to do the next iteration of the HubCap program, of which Oak Hill is one of the 5 communities that will be part of the program. So just some brief background. The Hub is a statewide nonprofit organization. We've worked in over 60 communities across the state in the last 13 years. So, and this is the 5th iteration of this particular program. It's our longest running program and our most successful program. I was a coach in the 4th iteration of HubCap that just wrapped up in some of the Mon Forest town communities, Marlington, White Sulphur Springs, Elkins, Petersburg, Franklin, Cowan. So some other communities, Elkins was definitely one that was kind of similar size to Oak Hill. So a little bit about HubCap. It is a 24-month community development program that focuses on building capacity within your local community and leadership development through community-driven projects. So we'll be building local teams in the community. You guys have a great turnout at your council meeting. It's always great to see such an engaged community. So we'll hope to build local teams in your community to work on the projects. I know from hearing Erin previously and speaking with her, you guys have a lot of projects already, in works, which is great. It's always great to see an engaged community, already doing the work too. So we'll work to build teams to focus on some of the projects with this initiative. The projects are community driven within the scope of, our funding from USDA. And so we'll provide over $20,000 in technical assistance for, $20,000 in funding for your technical assistance project, which will be kind of your biggest project that the community will determine, what that looks like. And some placemaking projects. So some local, a couple small art or art incorporated projects in your community. And again, I know you guys already have a lot of projects going on, so hopefully, something can be tied to the development you already have. So as part of this program, you'll have monthly meetings in your community with the team that whoever wants to be present. So we focus on grassroots community development. And while we certainly hope that everyone on city council wants to be part of our program, we welcome every member of the community to be part of the program too, because everyone wants to, be invested in their own community. So we'll have local meetings in Oak Hill each month with your coach. I'll be the coach for Oak Hill. And so at that time is when, we'll work on the projects, the leadership development, team development, and, what Oak Hill wants to move forward in this program. We'll also have 6, we call them group sessions, where your community team will come together with the other communities in this program and hear about resources, partnerships, and collaborations that we've seen be successful around the state in these initiatives. We have numerous partners that have already signed on with us to work in this program. One is the New River Gorge Regional Development Authority with Jenna Belcher and her crew. So they're actually a financial partner with us as well because they believe in this work, and we are working in 3 communities in their region. So we'll also be working with Judy Moore and the Hive, particularly through their Co-Starters program. A good aspect of this round of Hubcap is some business resilience, particularly in response to COVID-19 and as businesses and communities continue to rebuild after COVID-19. We'll also be working with West Virginia Brownfields, both the Marshall and WVU Assistance Centers. We have longstanding history with them for building redevelopment, downtown redevelopment. The WVU School of Design is also a partner. We've worked with Peter Butler. He's actually on the board of the Hub, and we've worked with him and his students in numerous projects for charrette processes and design processes that can involve the community and build that engagement. And then you'll have the collaboration with the other communities through this program and our network of kind of alumni communities that have been successful. As I said, this is the 5th round of this program. So we do have over 20 communities that we've, operated this program in the past in those communities. So next steps, tonight I'm just here to share the good news with you guys and hopefully, celebrate that a little bit. We will have a formal press release coming out from USDA soon in the Hub, and we'll share that with you so you can share in your local paper or, media as you wish. And then we will begin our kickoff in March. We'll start with a community engagement event here in the community to kick off and really build some excitement within your community and hope to get some people that want to be part of the teams. We'll build, we can have as many people involved in this as we want. We'll have a core team of about 6 people that will travel to the group sessions. It doesn't have to be the same 6 people every time. And in fact, we encourage communities to think about incorporating as many people as they can in that because it is 2 days, somewhere else kind of offsite in a learning style environment. And sometimes it's difficult for people to commit to more than one session. And it's always great to build that capacity of multiple leaders. And I'm sure you're wondering, I've talked several times about some of the other communities. And so just a couple of the community successes that we've had with the projects in this. Princeton and Matewan were in Hubcap 3, which started in 2017. Princeton focused on business redevelopment in their downtown. They have been really successful in their Mercer Street grassroots district, which is their downtown near their courthouse. I think they've opened about 24 new businesses on Mercer Street, and they really don't have very many empty buildings left to redevelop. Matewan worked to develop one historic building, the Ninny Building. They partnered with Coalfield Development and are currently undergoing a $1.2 million renovation of that building. In Hubcap 4 that we just wrapped up, Elkins, as I said, was a community similar size to Oak Hill. They focused on a 3-phase riverfront redevelopment project because the focus in the last round of Hubcap was recreational development. So Elkins had several engagement sessions and has a river phase development project designed to incorporate their downtown businesses with their community assets and bring more people downtown. White Sulphur Springs, they also built worked on a recreational development project to build a bike park and a skills pump track area on some land that they had in the community that was in the floodway, and were limited in the use that they could have. So we feel really confident about Oak Hill's ability to be successful in this. We're excited to work with you guys on this, and I hope that you guys, the council and the mayor, are as well. And at this time, I'll answer any questions you have. My email address is also at the bottom, so if you should have questions later, you can not hesitate to reach out to me, and we can touch base.
Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments?
Can Oak Hill choose what area that they would want to use your services? For example, you say Princeton did the downtown. Could Oak Hill do something like that?
The business resilience aspect is definitely a huge part of this round of hubcap. Each round has a little bit of a priority of funding with from USDA. So some of the funding for this round has to be around local sustainability efforts in terms of food, business, manufacturing. So yeah, we hope the whole goal of our programs is to build economic development within each community. And we certainly have several successful communities that have approached it in different ways to build their business community in their downtown. And we're confident. This is the first time we've partnered with Newver Gorge and the Hive in this program, and we're confident in working with them. We'll be able to bring more resources to bear to build the business community.
Thank you.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here. Have you met Erin
Yeah,
and you all have dialogued?
we did have a conversation
So
a couple months ago.
She's our contact person.
Yeah, I just talked to Aaron today. I'm gonna reach out and we're gonna set up a meeting so I can get a better understanding about the
I
projects.
heard
in Oakville.
$20,000.
Yes, sir.
Could you be a little short and precise as to how we would get that, or do we get it? And is it used for the planning stages, or can it be used directly, let's say for not a business hours, a business forum?
So the two placemaking projects, we will give money for those for implementation of the projects. The technical assistance, which is the bulk of the money and is close to $20,000, it has to be used for some sort of way to move forward a project. So a business forum could be something that happens with that. So for example, we just worked in Pendleton County, and again, their focus was a little bit different. They were building a recreational economy. Franklin is a community of 700 people, and they are very close to Seneca Rocks and some of the best climbing in the state, but they recognize it's an underutilized asset in their community. We worked with a consultant to provide them a climbing study, and then they developed a brand from that, Pendleton Rocks. It's worth the climb. And now they are embarking on the process of kind of building their tourism around basically the world's.
So we've got a lot of things happening here in Oak Hill.
Yes, I'm aware, sir.
And I hear you focusing on all these other cities, but let's focus on Oak Hill with
Yes, sir.
Aaron.
Yes.
And not to insult you, but I heard something there, Stacy.
Yes, sir.
You better not go to Marlington and say Marlington.
Oh, no. Marlington.
There's
Yeah.
no G in
There's
it.
no G. You're right. Yeah, I apologize.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
I'm getting
coming
over a
this
cold, so apologize for my enunciation there. I live
It's
close to
okay.
Marlington, so
Marlington.
yeah.
evening. Thank you for coming
Yes.
this evening.
But yeah, I
Thank
will
you.
work with Aaron and appreciate working with any of you that are able to join us. So thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you lose some?
What'd you lose? Somebody have a cookie.
Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you know in 1914, World War I broke out in Europe? The United States was able to stay out of the war until April of 1917, when President Wilson finally asked Congress to declare war on Germany, primarily over its unrestricted submarine warfare policy, which they just hit anything that floated, whether it was military or not. And thus the United States was in the First World War. And the war, of course, was called the World War at that time because they didn't have a II yet. So it's not called World War I at the time, not until 1939. The United States entered the war very much unprepared compared to other countries at the time. It sent John J. Pershing over to Europe with the American Expeditionary Forces to tackle the Central Powers made up of Germany, Austria-Hungary, Turkey, and Bulgaria. fighting virtually against everybody else. The war finally came to an end on the 11th month, the 11th day, at the 11th hour in 1918, November 11th, 1918. Congress declared that Armistice Day to honor all those men and women who had served in the European theater in World War I. It remained Armistice Day, celebrated that way till 1954, in which Congress decided to honor all veterans from all wars, from all of American history. And so in 1954, Congress passed a law which renamed it Armistice Day, Veterans Day, and it's been that way ever since, honoring men and women who have served their country. Elmer Davis, a well-known professor and philosopher, said this. He said, quote, "This nation will remain the land of the free only as long as it is the home of the brave." And I think those are very true words. And of course, this Friday will mark Veterans Day once again, November 11th, in the beginning, recognizing the end of the First World War. And so I think the council and the mayor find it extremely appropriate that men and women be honored tonight, since it's as close as we're going to get to Veterans Day, this council will, because we'll meet again till December 12th. And so tonight we're going to issue proclamation from the city to Colonel Chris Selvey from the Junior ROTC program at the Votech Center, who's done a great job over the years helping develop young men and women to understand and grasp the need of a military career. For many people, that's what they choose, an honorable career. And then we have two representatives from the American Legion here tonight, Garland Burke and Dennis Keffer. And I think I'm going to read the proclamation out here, and then I'm going to present one to each of these three gentlemen who have represented our area and our country so very well over the years. So I can get out of here for a second.
Mayor, might we ask them to come forth
Yes,
here
that's
so
what I was
we
going to- yes,
see
that's
them and
Yes.
respect and appreciate them?
Whereas our great nation was founded on the belief that all Americans are created equal and are guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas the rights we enjoy as Americans did not come without a price, the greatest acknowledgement of our freedom is to honor our men and women who throughout history have answered the call of duty to preserve and protect our country during war and peacetime. And whereas we pay homage to the unrelenting bravery and dedication of all who wear the uniform, we grieve alongside families of the fallen who paid the ultimate price for our freedom, for those who return home when their service concludes, and especially those who have returned home without any recognition. And whereas men and women of all armed forces continue to be an inspiration to all of us through their demonstration of courage, leadership, and commitment in service to our community and our country. And whereas the city of Oak Hill observes our Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, the JROTC program, that allows students to experience our armed forces or Department of Defense training before entering active duty. This program is dedicated to building character and life skills that will prepare them as they take up the mantle to serve our country in maintaining peace and security. And whereas on this day, let us solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who valiantly preserve our heritage of freedom. Now, therefore, I, Daniel E. Wright, Mayor of the City of Oak Hill, in conjunction with the Oak Hill City Council, do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2022 as Veterans Day, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and fixed my signature the 7th day of November, 2022, in the City of Oak Hill, the County of Fayette, and in the great state of West Virginia. Signed, Daniel E. Wright, Mayor.
Excellent. With Demita would join you, the mayor, and you guys get a picture there.
We also have an employee that serves, Tyler.
Really?
Mhm.
He was a hurrah.
Tyler, you serve?
Thank you.
Mayor, thank you.
Continuing with our proclamations, Small Business Saturday proclamation. Whereas the government of Oak Hill, West Virginia celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 32.5 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees. Small businesses are responsible for 62% of net new jobs created since 1995, and small businesses employ 46.8% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. And whereas 79% of consumers understand the importance of supporting the small businesses in their community on Small Business Saturday, 70% report the day makes them want to encourage others to shop small, independent-owned retailers, and 66% report that the day makes them want to shop small all year long. And whereas 58% of shoppers reported they shop online with a small business, and 54% reported they dined or ordered takeout from a small restaurant, bar, or cafe on Small Business Saturday in 2021. And whereas Oak Hill, West Virginia supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. And whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Daniel E. Wright, Mayor of the City of Oak Hill, in conjunction with the Oak Hill City Council, do hereby proclaim November 26, 2022, Small Business Saturday, and we urge the residents of our community and the communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand to fix my signature the 7th day of November, 2022, in the City of Oak Hill, the County of Fayette, and in the great state of West Virginia. Daniel E. Wright, Mayor, and I'm presenting this to Becky Sullivan, Executive Director of the Fayette Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yay, Becky.
Picture, Mayor. Smile. These aren't glamour
Again,
photos.
Tiger.
Mayor, quick suggestion. How about Joe Ray and Steve Hazlett joining you all? Steve's a private entrepreneur.
Before we go, Aaron has something to say regarding.
And Aaron.
Yeah, we have a campaign that we're going to do on social media to support Small Business Saturday, and we have some shop local decals up here for anybody to take and put them on your car, put them on your business. And yeah, we just encourage you guys to, we're going to be running specials that businesses have on social media. So just look out for those, and we hope to see you guys out on Small Business Saturday.
Great. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron. Want a picture there with Joe Ray and Steve and Aaron, and I'll take the picture. Or someone, Becky. Krista,
I'm good. Hey, Joe.
get up there, Demita.
You have a small business.
Show me how to use it.
You have a small business.
I am, but I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm right here.
You know
See
what?
you in the picture.
I don't know whether I'm in a picture or not.
I'll do like the man did on that last
There you
one.
go. I see you now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Got it.
Good job.
Right.
I'm just glad I can read.
You write well also.
Over here is the
Drafter.
Great
Rhonda.
job, Rhonda.
Oh, really?
Those are
Great
beautiful.
job.
Yes, they were
Yes.
beautiful. Thank you.
All right. Now we get to the reading and approval of the minutes. And is there a motion?
Mayor, I move we accept the reading and approval of the minutes as having been presented.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to. 6-0. Which now moves us to the treasurer's report. Any motion there on regarding?
Mayor,
that?
I move we accept the treasurer's report as having been presented.
I'll second.
Properly moved and second, accept the report as having been presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to. 6-0. Any correspondence?
Yes, sir. We received an invitation from the New River Health inviting the council to the open house event on December 1st at their new facility on 497 Mall Road. It's going to be between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. And they want to RSVP by November 18th. And their phone number is 304-465-2253.
This is New River's renovation of the old Kmart building, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is now going to be the New River Health Clinic. That's an excellent addition to the city of Oak Hill, isn't it? This looks like it's a large enterprise too. It's not just a small building out there. It's quite a large facility for healthcare. Is that it
That's it.
for correspondence? Is that it?
That's all
Okay.
there.
Thank you.
And I'll be glad to send this to everyone by email.
Sure,
And,
sure. Thank you.
I
Thank
can-
you.
I'll be glad to let them know
All right.
which council would like to come.
We've already received it, so
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Aaron made that
Aaron
available.
Okay.
Sennett, yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Citizens comments. Anyone sign up for that?
Someone, but
And he left. It was Mr. Conrad.
oh, okay.
And he was going to ask for that property to be rezoned to light industrial, but we did that when we took it in.
Okay.
We changed the zoning as we brought it in
Oh, all right. Into the city.
into the city.
And the
yes.
county commission had to,
And I did that on Thursday.
I saw that. Thank you.
So there are no citizens comments.
Mayor, I'd like to make a comment by unanimous consent. Before us are pastries given to us by McDonald's in appreciation for what we do. And I would just say, someone's got to eat them. So anyone would like one or want to take home, please do it. But PJ asked me about a week ago, was it okay? And I said, it's fine as long as it's not more than $25. So we're okay.
We're okay. The attorney says yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Perry. So there are no citizens comments. I think that's a first.
In a
I
long
do
time.
too.
On a
I
full
don't
moon.
ever remember that happening.
Let's move along then.
I'm in shock. It's hard to move along.
I'll keep it active.
I've never seen that
We'll
happen.
have plenty of this stuff.
A minute from the minutes. I have two. February 24th, 1976 on the Oak Hill City minutes. The city was billed for the cleanup of the Concho trash dump by the Southern West Virginia Regional Health Council, whatever that was. The bill was dated September 9th, 1975, at a cost to the city of $1,940. I'm not quite sure why the city had to pay almost $2,000 for that. I know it's not in city limits at the time. You have any idea why the city had to pay almost $2,000 for help clean up Concho? Well, the city paid it, so they must have thought they owed it back in 1976. Also, that same year, March 23rd, 1976, from the minutes, salary increases passed for all those employees who've served at least 1 year. The police will receive a $50 a month raise. Street department will receive a 29 cents an hour raise. Radio operators for the city will receive 9 cents an hour raise. The city clerk will receive a $50 a month raise, and the city treasurer a $50 a month raise, effective July 1 of 1976. So there are a few little tidbits from the minutes in Oak Hill's past. Unfinished business. Number 1, bid opening for the purchase of 2 2022 dump trucks defined by specifications. Madam Manager.
Before I open this bid, I forgot our very newest employee that is here today, Tyler Bragg.
Tyler's back.
And we're so glad to have him back.
Absolutely. You know, it's been said, you don't know what you missed till you lose it. So we've had a void now for a couple months. So I'm glad to see Tyler reconsider and come back home.
I think the sanitary board was up here after him very early this morning. Okay, this bid is from Jim Shorkey Auto Group. And we did receive bids on this before, but it didn't meet the specifications. So that's why we are bidding again. So they have bid 3 trucks.
3.
Yes. Is one of these for the sanitary board?
Yes.
Okay. So yours are the 2 Ford F-550s? Okay. Okay, so their bid is $72,818.
Per truck.
And I think that should be the same exact truck. Yes, $72,818. These were approved in the budget, and I have financing available for these so that it wouldn't hurt our budget so bad. So that's. I would ask that these be approved if they meet specifications.
Madam City Manager, did I miss? Is there only one bid?
No, it was $72,818 each.
Oh, so the same.
Right, but it was only from one company.
Do you or Day have? So this is it,
Yes,
and the specs meet this time,
that's what we'll have to check.
and we're
see.
approving 3 or 2 trucks.
To the other one was for the sanitary board.
I move that we accept the bids from Sharkey, conditioned upon meeting the specifications as presented by the city manager and the street department
I'll second.
chair.
Properly moved and seconded. We accept the bid. Any discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to, 6-0. Number 2, recommendation from the selection committee to select an architectural engineering firm to renovate the new city hall. Madam City Manager.
When the council appointed a transition team to move to the new city hall. So from this team, I picked Day Day and Counselor Hazlett and myself to be the selection committee for the engineers. We had 6 proposals. We narrowed that down to 3, and we interviewed those 3 on Thursday. And so from those 3, we recommend Chapman Technical Group. They received the high score, and that is who we put before you for approval tonight.
Mayor, I recommend that we accept the selection committee's report for Chapman as the architectural firm. And with that, I would make a brief comment, unexpectedly. I respect the expediency in which the committee handled this, and I appreciate Mr. Hazlett's input and Demita's and Day Day's. So thank you all, and I think you've made a very good decision based on the interviews and the documents that were presented to you from each of the architects.
Thank you.
So I move that we accept the architectural selection engineering firm.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Properly moved and seconded that we approve the recommendation for the Chapman Architectural Firm to renovate New City Hall. Any discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to. Number 3, consideration to adopt a resolution to lay an assessment lien on property located at 105 Rocklick Road, map 59J, parcel 33, owned by Brooke Armentrout.
This is property that we had torn down. We've already torn down the property. We've sent notice, and so now we've paid for it. So now it's time to place a lien on the property at 105 Rocklick.
Mayor, I move we adopt a resolution to lay an assessment lien on property located at 105 Rocklick Road, map 59J, parcel 33, owned by Brooke Armentrout.
I'll second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to. 6-0. New business, number 4, Structural Inspection Board's SIB recommendation to demolish the following structures. A, 94 High Street, map 4, parcel 90, owned by Celia Purrier. B, 301 Bond Avenue, map 16, parcel 16, owned by Cody and Sarah Donnelly.
These are 2 properties that Day Day and I both went and looked at and scored the properties and presented them to the Structural Inspection Board. And so this is their recommendation to have both those properties demolished. This will come also out of our grant. We will be seeking reimbursement from the grant that we have with the DEP for these.
Have they been notified?
They will, as soon as you issue the order.
Do we have pictures
We'll
of these
send the
properties?
letter tomorrow. I do have pictures on the dashboard that I don't know how to get to right now. I can tell you about Bond. The one on Bond Avenue is, I don't even know how it's standing still. It's terrible. It looks very terrible. We did show the pictures to the Structural Inspection Board.
Okay.
And
This is the recommendation of the structural.
Of the Structural Inspection Board. They
I move
looked
that
at
we
the
accept the
properties.
inspection board SIP recommendation to demolish the following structures, A and B. I won't cite them.
I'll second it.
Properly moved and seconded that the recommendation of the Structural Inspection Board to demolish properties at 94 High Street and 301 Bond Avenue in Oak Hill be accepted. Any discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion is agreed to, 6-0. Number 5, SIB's recommendation to repair the structure located at 407 Broadway Avenue, map 4, parcel 105, owned by Twyla Rambus and care of Deborah Stanley.
We looked at this property and it is bad and needs repair to it. And we talked to the owners and that's what they would like to do. That's their intentions, is to repair this property. But we think that they need a little push maybe to have it repaired.
I make a motion, oh, sorry, Demita.
Go ahead.
Oh, to accept the structural inspection board's recommendation to repair structure located at 407 Broadway Avenue, map 4, parcel 105.
Mayor, do they know what's needed to repair this? Have that been explained to them?
No, but we can have those conversations. Well, I think they do know what needed repaired when
So
we
did
talk to them,
Did they get a copy of that report?
but we will tell them what needs to be repaired.
Well, they have to make monthly reports as what they've done.
Well, we can keep notice. I mean, we can keep watching it and see, and I'll keep in touch with the landowners.
Mayor, we don't have a second to the motion
Not
at
yet.
this point, so
Not yet.
it shouldn't be until discussion time comes. Sorry there, Councilwoman. We're moving so effectively.
I know. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Properly moved and seconded.
Now discussion.
Now your discussion regarding number 5.
There you go, Diane.
Yes, we will lay that out.
Okay.
The front porch is the worst. They tore off the porch, so there's quite a bit of water getting into the inside. Now, we don't know what it looks like on the inside, but we know as far as the outside, the porch needs repaired, and I believe the roof. So that's the biggest part from the outside. They have a lot of junk on the back porch that needs removed. So
You'll keep them notified.
yes, we will. We will
I
keep
did
them
that.
notified of that.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they plan on living there themselves or fix it
They are
up to
trying to
rent?
fix it up for a member of their family to live there.
Madam City Manager, along the line which Mr. Small was just talking about, and we've done this in the past, I think, and I think we asked for it once upon a time. Number one, are they going to be under the inspection of the county building officer?
They will have to get a permit. Yes,
And they'll have to comply with the county regulations.
yes.
Number two, would it be appropriate to ask that they submit a plan for what they're talking about? I'm making.
What
is
they're
that-
going to do.
Yeah,
I think after we tell them what we want to have finished, then they can submit that plan.
would you?
They have, let's see, they can appeal, do they have the right to come, Rhonda, to the next council meeting?
Yeah, if they disagree with the structural inspection board's recommendation, they need to come and
They can come to the meeting.
I would like to request that at such time you write a letter to them and advise them of what you suggested, that in that letter, there also be a request that council be provided with a, not necessarily a blueprint, but a synopsis or scenario of what they're going to repair.
Okay.
You know, the porch, roof, and other areas. So we've got some idea what to expect, so we don't get into the same situation we got before.
Right. Okay.
So that's just a recommendation. Thank you.
Any more discussion? The hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to. Number 6, consideration to adopt a resolution for the city to demolish the structure located at 146 Richard Street, map 25, parcel 346, owned by Kevin and Sharon Marie Bibb.
This one has been, you've seen it before. It's on Richard Street. The neighbors have complained a lot of times. So we're at the point now where we can demolish it. If you pass this resolution, the city will take bids and demolish that property. The owner has indicated that they will pay us for that.
Whoa.
Then
So
I'll
the-
make that motion. They will pay us.
You got it.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Sorry, Steve.
We all do. Everybody seconds it. So it's been properly moved and seconded by everybody. That any discussion?
What's the time period in terms of return of the bids for demolishing?
Oh, I think we usually do it 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
yes, we should be able to
Yeah.
decide
At the
in
next
December.
meeting.
December.
We should be able to do that, yes.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to, 6-0, which now moves us to number 7. Consideration of the Planning Commission's recommendation to rezone 201 Maple Street from General Business District B2 to Light Industrial District
Mayor,
L1.
I move that we accept the Planning Commission's recommendation to rezone 201 Maple Street from General Business District to B2 to Light Industrial District. And I understand that originally this was zoned light industrial, and then it was rezoned for a church. And this is some of the Long Air Docks property
Yes.
that I understand needs to be rezoned because the Humane Society is looking at this building for storage. So I move that we accept it.
I'll second it.
Probably moved and seconded. Any discussion?
The church didn't let this.
The church is gone.
Church is shut down.
Yeah, they're no
Yeah.
longer there.
Yeah,
I
they
think
Building
they-
is-
I think they were renting it from somebody. Yeah, it was renting it.
Mhm.
Church was just renting.
Block building, the white block building.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. Number 8, review of the Oak Hill Municipal Code 11.16 vacant rental or commercial property. Madam City Manager.
I'm going to refer to the city attorney for this. He has been looking at it to give us some advice on this code.
Yes, I told Demita earlier, and I think I've spoken to one or two council members about it. I am currently looking at this. We are not prepared yet to present a formal ordinance to council for adoption. We will be, what I'm doing right now is I'm looking into what other cities do, how they handle the matter. And then I'll put together a proposed ordinance and present it to you all to review in advance of a meeting.
Thank you.
Counselor, is this the ordinance that Mr. Garvin presented
That's my understanding.
or suggested?
That's my understanding.
Could we expect something either after December or before? Is that
Should be able
enough
to-
time?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fowle.
Yes,
So we don't need a motion on this, right? At the time.
correct.
Thank you, Mr. Fowle.
Brings us to number 9, the police pension report.
Mayor, no disrespect to the chief, but we received that report in writing, and I would move that we accept the police pension report as having been presented. And at the end of a second, if I get it, if there are any questions on discussion, maybe the chief can respond to questions, but we have it in writing, and we've seen it monthly.
Is there a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion on the police pension report? Hearing none, we'll vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to, 6-0. Which now moves-
That funding did take a little hit, but we think it'll come back before the last one retires.
Who might that be?
Let's see, who is
Not,
that?
don't just,
Skibo,
oh, okay.
I think. He's probably the youngest.
Which brings us to number 10, administrative jobs and assignments. Madam City Manager.
This is for the assignments that we were, the extra assignments that we had and the job duties when Bill left, wherein Day Day was appointed as the person to help me get through all the technical street things. And Valerie was added her duties as finance and clerk, and Charlie Pinnell as taking over more duties on the street department. And so I would like to ask that those positions be kept, with the exception of adding Rhonda Falk as the city clerk. Those two jobs in our charter are separated. And so that's my recommendation, to have
Mayor,
our city clerk and.
I move that we accept the administrative job assignments of the city manager as she's been presented, and the minutes note that Rhonda brings us into compliance with the charter. And also in so doing, I would say that, again, I've said it repeatedly, Demita is doing an excellent job. She's very receptive to discussion and disagreement. Day has done an outstanding job as well. I don't know whether I didn't notice it before, but I see all kind of projects going on in the city right now. And of course, I think we've all recognized the attributes of Rhonda over the last 2-3 months. And if she'll get just a little more specificity in the minutes, as I suggested the last time. So that is my motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I have a quick question. So like, I know we said we're gonna keep them in jobs that they are for, so like, would their titles change or is it the same? I don't even know.
I guess it's the same. I mean, I don't know another title.
I
We
don't-
can think up something.
I don't even know what the title is now. What
So
is-
Valerie's the city treasurer and
Oh, okay.
Rhonda's the city clerk.
what you did
Yes.
before- That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
So, what you, Director of Public Works, before we,
He's the director of public works.
so are you going back to Director of Public Works or?
No.
He's always been.
He's
I know
all,
it,
I mean,
but
he's
we're-
still the director of public works, but
Slash.
slash,
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. I
yes.
knew you were doing that. I just didn't know what we were. Okay.
So Councilman Jackson, what we're going to add
And
to it
he
is
is.
Mr.
Excuse me.
I said, what we're going to add to that title is Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
and
Director of
Mrs.
Public Works.
We want to be politically correct and
Okay.
Mrs.
I was just wondering. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. Good question. I'll call you one.
All right.
Good question.
I'll call
You know what to call him?
you.
Any more discussion? Hearing now, we vote the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. Motion's agreed to. 6-0, which now moves us to number 11. Consideration to adopt the Building Commission's supplemental resolution related to interest rate and purchase of the former BB&T building.
Mayor, I move consideration to adopt the Building Commission supplemental resolution related to interest rate and purchase of the former BB&T building. I was present at the meeting. It was very well vetted. There were 2 top contenders. One was Truist and one was
PCB.
PCB.
Mhm.
Pendleton.
And the interest rates were very close. And some of the comments of the Building Commission, and Ms. Johnson can correct me if I'm in error. One, PCB is a state bank, which means it's easier to complain or file complaints. Truist is a federal bank, and PCB indicated that they would not impede any process on our loan to be sure that we were able to close by November. Is that correct? At the end of November?
Yes, yes.
And the other thing that I think was great, that the commission acknowledged a local bank in the community that has been very active in our schools and community. So my motion is to accept number 11.
Is there a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded.
And the term that the Building Commission recommends
15
is
years.
15 years. And the payments will be $11,537.90 per month. And as I explained to the Building Commission, we have planned to take this from our sales tax revenue. We got our first check this month and it was for $164,000, and that was for 2 months. So we should be able to well
And if I
cover.
recall, there would be no penalty if we paid it off early.
Correct.
That was one of the major differences.
Correct.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, this is like a 2-part question.
Okay.
The way I read this, because it's got the word "and," because I'm still no on the purchase. So I got a yes and no vote.
You got a yes and a no. Well, I guess it's just to approve the
Yes.
financing that the bank that the building commission recommends. That's all they recommended. But that's up to you all.
And part of that motion, if I recall again, was that any not variance necessarily, but that would be up to you to negotiate, if I recall.
Oh, on the different
Yeah.
things that they
Yes.
have, yes.
So I would include that in my motion
Legal
as well.
fees and
Yeah, I would include that in my
the
motion as well.
appraisal.
I'll say one thing about PCB. I called them up when they first opened up and told them that PCB might not be the best way to, and I had a talk with the president of the bank, and I said, I don't know if you realize this or not, but PCB has a negative connotation. I don't know whether you want that out for the world to see or not. And the man said, I understand. I said, I know exactly what you're talking about. He said, I'm from Fayette County. He said, I used to stay down at Red Star with my grandparents and lived over at Lock Galley. So the president of this bank is a local person. He's a Fayette County person. So I like that even better, that he's local. He understands the area because he grew up here. And he understood the PCB problem, but I said, I just wanted you to just understand what you're saying, that a lot of people aren't going to like hearing that. So he understood it. He said he had no choice. The letters were already done. So that was that.
So I move the previous question.
All right. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no.
No.
The motion's agreed to, 4-2. Number 12, consideration to approve an end-of-year pay adjustment. Madam City Manager.
I would like to recommend that each city employee receive an end-of-year pay adjustment of $500. With the part-time employees receiving $250. The total amount for that the cost and the taxes that go with it would be $23,683. At the same time, I'd like to recommend the fire department receive $250, and that total cost would be somewhere around $9,500. If I counted the number of firemen right.
Is this a Christmas bonus?
And I think
Rita?
the chief's been asked.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
the chief's been asked to supply you with the list. And last year we based this on participation report.
Right.
Is that correct, Chief? And that list you're going to make available, please. Thank you.
We're looking at about 33,000 overall.
Yes.
So this isn't a permanent, it's just a Christmas bonus.
It's just a
There you go.
Christmas bonus.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's $200 more than last year.
For the.
I think it was 300 last year.
No,
for
we
all
ended up
employees,
doing
'cause I think
500.
Chris- Was it 500?
Yeah.
Okay.
500.
Okay.
Mhm.
The only other thing I would add to your recommendation, and council, you can correct me on this if I'm in error. It's my understanding that a recommendation doesn't need a motion, that it can be presented and voted upon according to Jefferson's rules and possibly Robert's rules. Could you check that? Pardon?
I will check that.
Okay.
I'm not 100%. You may be correct on that.
And I may not, but anyway,
I never see it done that way, but it may be.
I've seen it done that way in Charleston, church business meetings. But anyway, thank you, council. The thing I would add to her, or the motion, is that, let me understand, 500 to all regular employees. That includes the police department and all the persons here in the city. 250 to firemen, based on the chief's recommendation of participation, which last year we discussed was an incentive to get participation. And I'd also note that this in no way is intended to demise or demoralize the fire department, but in essence, we're not doing, let's say, temporary or part-time employees, correct? I mean, in other areas. Such
Part-
as
we're
the
doing-
police commission and such.
Oh, right. Yes.
So we're extending it to them. So I hope that Chief, you and Chris will kind of transmit this, that we appreciate you, respect you, and I also appreciate the early notification. This way, these folks can plan whether to buy their spouse something additional this Christmas or their mate. So where I was going with this is I would recommend that those people hired after July 1 only receive $250. Because if I were a full-time yearly employee, I wouldn't resent it. But I don't really think it's quite just for them to receive the same benefit for those guys that's been with the city 10 years, 15 years, so forth. So
I agree.
I would make that part
That's
of
good.
the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Properly moved and seconded. I know the answer, Mr. City Attorney, but I don't guess the city council gets any of that.
You probably knew the answer.
Didn't hurt to try, though, did it? Hurt to
So-
try.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Any discussion?
I just want to be clear. So any employee, like David said, that's hired after July 1st, they are considered part-time, correct?
No,
No, they'll just.
They'll, I mean, but they'll get a part-time,
yes.
the part-time bonus.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Any more
Thank you.
discussion?
that, Tyler. You broke your service, but
Okay.
would you like me to amend to include Tyler? I'll leave that up to the city manager.
Any more discussion? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The motion's agreed to, 6-0, which now moves us to Christmas and New Year holiday logistics. Madam Clerk, City Manager.
We are closed for Christmas on Friday, the 23rd, and Monday, the 26th. I would like to ask that we could also have December 30th for New Year's and just so that we could close on that day.
So you'll be closed
altogether.
a Friday and a Monday and a Friday and a Monday?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
There you go. Move it.
I'll move that we honor
I'll let
that.
Diana. I'll second.
Properly
Thank
moved and
you.
seconded.
Now
Any
do-
discussion on Christmas, New Year holiday logistics?
Question. Did we take care of Thanksgiving? Did I miss something?
We just changed that we're closed on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yes, we did that last.
So that needs
Month.
no action?
No.
Okay.
Any more discussion on number 13? Hearing none, we vote the motion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion's agreed to, 6-0, which moves us to the committee department report. You have-
Mayor,
Yes.
again, an editorial.
Killing
I'm
me, man.
moving, Diane. You second my motions, gal. I would ask that each of these, the end of the year adjustment or bonus, we know is adjustment, and the holidays be accompanied with a letter signed by the mayor and the city manager expressing our appreciation and acknowledging, expressing our appreciation, acknowledging what we've done as a
Shouldn't we all
council.
sign it too?
I'm good with that. In fact, you go, yeah.
I think we just gave them a
look at
Christmas
it.
bonus. That's another way to say we're thank you. We're saying thank you right there.
So I mutually agree with the council ladies' suggestion, recommendation also. So if we draft a letter
No,
expressing our appreciation and wish them a happy Thanksgiving and a fruitful new year and all that stuff.
You have a week to sign the letter when Wanda says it's ready.
We'll
Right.
do it like
A
a
week?
Christmas card.
Huh?
Yeah.
We can do it like a Christmas card.
There you
That
go.
would be
Order on.
Okay.
So are all council people going to show up and sign it then, or how's that going to work?
Come in and out.
We'll, yeah.
Thank you. for
Okay.
that.
Let us know when it's ready.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I know.
I started to say that. But no,
All right, committee department reports. We have, I think these have already been included with your packet. Is there any questions regarding the police department's report that was already been presented by Chief Wisman? Yes, sir. Do you have something?
I was just waiting back. Mr. Mayor.
Just
Oh.
following up on my suggestion from the last council meeting.
I guess I wasn't looking up fast enough. Which now moves us to the fire department. Has been presented by Chief Richards. Nothing?
Again, editorial, I would thank the chief and the city manager for finally, or for coming to some ending for the approval of the addition. And also, I think he was asked today maybe to provide us with a rendition of what's proposed. So he got that to us in a very timely fashion, what they kind of agreed on with very few exceptions. So thank you, Chief.
And the other thing you have there's the park, the
Yeah.
drawing for the city park. Yeah, and there's a bigger one. Tyler made us
Yes.
a big one, so
Did you have opportunity to consult with Thrasher about, or it was Chapman? 2 months rather than 3?
no, I have not yet.
Okay. And Thrasher, what's the timeline with this at this point?
They're having a skate park. They hired a company that specializes in skate parks, so they're to come in and look at the property and make sure that it's suitable to put the skate park where it's designed in the
Okay.
drawing that you have there.
And this rendition is the larger field where the senior league field is, right?
I-
It looks like it.
It is.
Okay,
And they had suggested perhaps a smaller field. And discussions are still going on with the Methodist Church, correct?
yes.
And Day was, did you ever get those guys come down and look at it? Remember the meeting, they said they wanted to look at it, they couldn't do
They're
it?
supposed to call me when they're ready.
Okay.
They have not.
Well, I know it's not your,
Yeah, they haven't called me yet. but
They haven't?
will.
Okay.
Rich was gonna call them. That's gonna be in there.
So are we redoing the baseball fields according to this,
yes,
right? Okay.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna put a batting cage over there too?
basketball's there.
Okay. I just didn't know, I didn't know that we was doing
Doing away
the,
with the,
What is it, not ping pong? What kind of ball is that, Mr. Smallwood?
Pickleball.
Pickleball, right? And a splash park. Or
Pickleball
splash.
is where on this?
where's the pickleball, right?
This is gonna be your.
Basketball.
They
or-
said they could
This is gonna be-
redraw the line, draw some lines for
Splash.
pickleball.
You can mark the
Pickleball.
basketball court
Mark the
with
basketball court
pickleball
for that.
lines on it.
Okay.
Okay.
See what they want.
And also, the committee that was formed gave some excellent
How about-
recommendations
Yes, they
that
did.
Thrasher took into consideration.
Then they're gonna redo. all
And I
the
just
turf.
happened to be at that meeting too.
So it looks like the ball fields are the same. Am I missing it?
Their turn.
They're turned all in the home plates are all
It's gonna be on the court.
point together.
And they're not that
Okay.
way now, Aaron?
They can-
Okay,
Oh.
I got you. Yeah.
I think that would be a good time to fix that street
Put it on
too,
there.
to straighten it out.
They won't, the Department of Highways won't let us do that
Do we have a price tag on this yet?
because, no, we don't. We do not.
Oh, yeah.
And this may not be the final design. It'll go
Right.
back to our committee again
Okay.
and
So it's still a work in
They'll-
progress.
Yeah.
it's still a work in progress,
Okay.
yes.
It's kind of just-
But it has changed
Okay.
completely from the first concept that we saw
Yeah.
after having our committee meeting and the suggestions that they had.
This is excellent based on what they suggested and the committee suggested early on with
Mhm.
Mr. Hannibas here. I mean, it's looks like a gem that if we complete it, we all as councilmen can be proud of. Moving right along.
This can be completed in phases if we need to, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And
The Economic Development Coordinator, do you have anything that you want to, you submitted a report, so I guess, is there any question of Erin? Her
Have one.
report for economic development?
have one. A good report. It was a good meeting. However, if I missed it, tell me. I know we talked about grants, a possibility of grants to businesses,
We have TIF funding available for that.
and the amount is,
The total is
I don't
for
have,
TIF funding.
I know, but I don't have the exact total, but it's
Okay.
around probably right at 200,000.
But the TIF funding is only for a certain area.
It's
correct?
only for the Main Street area.
right.
on this side of the bridge, right?
Yes, from the bridge to the hospital, basically.
So
Okay.
it's there, so to speak.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you.
City managers report.
Did this report require any action? On
Which one?
on ordinances, errands relevant to the B and O and so forth?
Oh, we wanted that for next month on the
Okay,
agenda.
okay.
We're saving that for next month's agenda.
I would ask that again, that the businesses or the chamber some way communicate that the council, through Mr. Hazlett's involvement, is recommending certain incentives related to the B and O tax.
Yes.
But this will be on next month's agenda.
Yeah.
It'll be on the agenda for next
Which
month.
Demita has indicated won't deplete or touch the rainy day fund, or which I understand was put in a report 10 or 12 years ago and drew dust.
The
and this-
comprehensive plan, yes.
Part of the comprehensive plan, and this has come forward. So, Steve, thank you. Demita, thank you. Aaron, you brought it all together. I pronounced your name right tonight.
Ian.
Got it. Thank you.
City managers report. Any questions? All right. Which moves us to council comments, Ward 2.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Just a couple things here. The streetlights. There's some burnt out. We need additional street lights. And also the LED, what is it, LED lights
Mhm. What
on
about,
the other end of town.
You can take them from my end, Charlie. They're too bright.
Well,
oh, go ahead.
They're ordering the LEDs. for
Extremely
them in
bright.
town already.
For East End,
For East
For East
End.
End.
We've
All
already,
right.
we've already got that. I talked to them and they're already, we're just waiting on them to come in. We're gonna start.
Day, is there any projection as to when?
I can call Todd tomorrow and ask him.
Thank you.
They're having so much trouble because we're not the only city that's going through it.
Right.
Bluefields, Princeton, everybody's changing over and the demand is so, it's so high, they can't just keep.
Thank you for proceeding with the order. Mr. Smallwood, I agree with you, and we didn't share notes. But that answers my other question that I've brought up consistently. It's a dark spot from Jesse's place and I'm concerned about the safety of people who are walking there. So it sounds like it's being taken care of. Thank you.
Yeah, and especially in front of the mayor's house also. It's completely
It's dark
dark
down
out there.
It is that there was a light. Somebody took it. So
Huh?
I don't have any light.
Off the pole?
It's gone. I went to see if the pole's still there, but the light's gone. It's been gone a long time.
Would you like to make that an emotion?
How about the motion? We need a light.
I think the city manager and
Okay.
Day can take care of seeing one gets down there.
It's dark out there.
It's dark down there.
Well, he doesn't want people to be seen going to and from when he's having
yeah.
Quite a crowd sometimes.
those.
If you'd let more Airbnbs beside your house,
Yeah.
you'd have a lot of light.
I have one 2 houses down. There is one 2 houses down.
Go ahead, Steve.
Anything else in Ward 2?
I just have one question for Demita. I think last month I asked about maybe some FEMA help. Have we gotten anywhere? Any
No, I have
word?
not. I have not gotten anywhere with FEMA. Day handled the DEP issue, but I haven't
Yeah,
with
I
FEMA.
appreciate that too. Also, I received a call from Demita yesterday, I believe. The middle piece of property for the Minden Park, it was owned by Mr. Is it
Salaji.
Salaji? He has agreed to donate that
Mm.
piece of property. So that was good news. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilman Hazlett, you're to be commended again because you basically brokered the deals on those properties for the people of Minden. And my understanding that part of that discussion Jerry was to have taken care of deeds, if I'm correct.
We have to stay on top of Jerry.
Mhm.
We ain't got nothing.
We have to get the paperwork together and to chase him down.
Okay.
Ward 1?
What about the welcome signs? Is
Good
there
question.
any?
The beautification committee is working on those. I don't know where it is exactly. The guy that's building them has called on and off, and I can't remember his
Eric
name.
Morshell.
Yes, Eric Morshell. He calls every once in a while and tells me he can't do something or that he's going to do something. So I'm not sure, haven't heard from him for a while, so I'm not sure where that is. What process, what stage in the process that's
Can
in.
you send him a note or letter?
I'll find out.
There you
I
go.
think that Judy has been keeping up with him or either Kevin Willis has been. So I'll ask them.
But the property, I'm sorry.
We've talked about that for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the properties at Greentown have the formalization of the deed has been completed.
That's what I was told. I need to check into that
Thank you.
because Tyler asked me the same thing today.
But we've got
So-
the deed, it was a question of the annexation.
And that was the part that I was told that was finished. So
Are you done, Diana? Thank you. What about the Virginia Street sidewalks and the rail trail lighting?
the rail trail lighting, they're still supposed to send us an agreement back. They have all the necessary paperwork, but we haven't gotten anything back from the Department of Highways. They have on the Virginia Street sidewalks, they have given Thrasher the go-ahead to start the design of that project.
Okay, that's all I have.
Mr. Perry?
I have brought this up before, and I've kind of tried to monitor it. And that's the streets. And looking ahead to winter, there were some streets were identified. At that time, it was suggested that a door-to-door contact would be made to ask those people to cooperate. Again, I don't know whether the contact's been made, but if it has, it ain't happening. And if it hasn't, it's not happening. So I would like to request, and if not, I don't think I can do a motion tonight, but
Can you elaborate on what you're talking about?
I'm getting there. Give me time. We talked that there was a list prepared by Day Day and who else? Thompson Avenue, Washington between School Street and Park, bottom of Mayfair, the Chestnut between Park and Richard Street, the alley behind the pawn shop, Lee Street and Road Street. And I asked that no parking on one side or the other as to whatever Day Day would determine be placed so that the snow plows and so forth could get through as one thing. And the other part is even without snow plows, it's like driving through a obstacle course. So like I said, if they were contacted, it hasn't worked. So I'd like to request that those signs be placed on those streets, and I'll be happy to provide this list if the list doesn't still exist. Please.
Can I ask a question on that? Is there off-street parking available to all those homeowners?
Man, the worst one down here on Thompson, and we looked, and most everyone has a driveway.
Okay.
There's a few that don't, but most everybody has a driveway that can probably put one or two vehicles in.
So the ones that don't, what would their option be?
Park on the other side of the
Other
street.
side of the
On the
street.
other side?
But even the ones that have off-street parking aren't utilizing it.
No, well, most of them, they've got kids and everybody's got vehicles. And you leave at a certain time and I leave later. So instead of blocking the driveway, everybody just parks on the road.
Lee Street Road's on what's road, first one.
Yeah.
It's, and they have off street
Yeah.
on one side of their house, the other side, but they don't use it, it's parked there. So again, I would request that. And
I think what we
Okay.
need to do, I don't know if we go out door to door, but I think we need to do a letter sent out to every resident on each street saying, look, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna do a one-side parking on your street. If you all have any suggestions, then they can come to y'all.
I wouldn't even ask for suggestions. I'd just send the letter that we're gonna do it, anticipate it, and it will come into play 30 days or whatever.
But I think we need to do a letter.
Yeah, that's a
Right.
good
That
idea.
way, everybody that lives on the street. has to-
They've been informed.
It cannot be, we didn't.
They've been informed when the police chief sends the cars down there to start writing. Thank you. Good suggestion, Dave.
How soon you gonna do that?
I'll start on it this week.
Is that something we can write tickets for?
Sure.
Once,
If
if
it's
posted.
you put a
Okay.
sign up on it and it's posted, that's when they can enforce it.
Chief,
Okay.
may I ask, doesn't that need to be done by ordinance? If you,
If you pass the, yeah, it probably does to sign it, should be an ordinance. Is that right to me? I believe.
I think so.
Not in the ordinance already?
Not on,
It's specific.
the ordinance would
That's
need
what I have to
to
look and
address which
see.
side of the street you can park on.
For those
And
specific
then if they
streets?
violate it, then I think you could ticket them.
No problem.
I'll check,
So
I'll check the
under,
ordinances too.
check the ordinance and under future agenda items, if we have to do an ordinance, I'd
Not
ask.
like changing a speed limit on a certain street. Gotta do an ordinance, right?
That sounds
That's
right.
correct.
Unless it's in there.
Right.
So I would ask that if it's necessary, that be on the December agenda as a future agenda item. And the only other comment, again, I have heard from residents. The last time I reported or said I'd heard from businesses. You're getting great compliments with the police walking the street.
Yes.
It's sending a message. It's being noticed. Good PR. So pass that along. I mean, you ought to feel good about it too.
I do.
They may not, they may be discouraged, but it's good. It's being noted.
I thought me and you'd walk.
What's that?
Me and Dad ain't gonna start walking together on the street.
There you go.
Yeah, we both could use it. You can go with it.
I'll go with it.
We walk down.
I'll go with it.
Eat lunch.
Walk to McDonald's. Yeah. Be a good walk for you.
You can get the double quarter shoulder when you get there and feel good about it.
Anything else?
Nope.
Which brings us to mayoral comments. I just have two. One is what's the status of the property on Chestnut Street after the building was torn down? I know the city moved on that. Is there?
I thought he was getting ready to do that. He got some permits. Have you heard from him? From
Mark.
We did take care
Mark
of it last council.
Brewer
We did. Yeah.
on Chestnut.
Okay, we okay in home for something.
He was, he come to get a permit for that
And the one on
and
Hayes.
Hayes Street.
This is the contractor, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yes.
I have a.
So
Okay.
he's getting ready
Okay.
to
Okay.
do that.
I noticed it's still there. Okay, thank you.
They had a problem with getting the asbestos. So I told her I'd follow up with her at the end of November.
Okay.
And I was on October 29th, I think we had the unveiling of the historic marker to James Ellis out at Russell Matthew Park. And I thought that went over very well. I know many of you were there, and it got some really good publicity. I think the Tribune ran the whole front page regarding the James Ellis marker. And it was a long time getting it all put in place, but it's finally been done and it looks good. And I think it looks good for Oak Hill. If it looks good for Oak Hill, it looks good for everybody. That's the way it
And
is.
the second article too, so.
Yes.
man, to be commended.
Yeah, it was well done. Well, and thank everyone who took part in getting all that laid out there for that event. And one more thing, it's not, probably most of you won't think this is a big one, but it's bothered me for a while. And that is the symbol, the seal of Oak Hill. It has established 1903, incorporated 1925. It was established in 1903 and incorporated in 1903. Had a mayor, city council, town sergeant, had it all. And so I can't quite understand the established 1903 on the seal. Is established not the same as incorporated, but it was incorporated. So I don't know. I know it's not a big worrisome detail, except to me, regarding the history of Oak Hill. By the way, if you want to see the incorporation papers of Oak Hill, they're in the circuit clerk's office, including everyone who signed in 1903 to call for an election to set up the town. And it's all there in the circuit clerk's office.
And that was all 1903.
1903. And the city hall was opened in 1904. And it lasted till 1929. And it only lasted 25 years, the city hall did. It's right back out here. It's gone. The jail was in there too. The building's gone.
Mayor, you're good about this. I'd also ask that we send PJ at McDonald's a letter thanking him for providing
Good. Yes.
snacks to councilmen.
Yes.
And staff.
Yes. It's a good idea. I just bring that out there regarding the seal of Oak Hill, that I have a question regarding its historical accuracy with the
And I don't even
1903.
know where that came from. I know it's on our seal that we
I see it on there. I just thought
that we press.
we had a mayor, Mayor
documents
Duncan, Mayor Duncan in 1903. We had a council. It was incorporated. I don't know what the 1925 is. I don't quite know what that is, unless that was the second charter. It means that was a charter change or something. They incorporated from that charter change. Is all I know for that. I don't know.
Maybe our attorney can define the difference and come back with it.
I know it's not something you have on your top of your list. But,
In between watching Marshall whip Appy Steak.
It's just something that I have thought about for a long time at 1903 on there. I'm about it, whoever thinks about that. Any future agenda items?
Yes, Mayor, I have one.
All right.
On recommendation from the Economic Development Committee, we request on the December agenda to discuss a 50% B&O tax break on existing businesses construction in excess of $10,000 or greater, and new business construction the same as 50% on any construction.
Could the gentleman restate that motion? Or those
Yes.
that request.
On existing businesses
Got that.
doing remodeling or
Right.
construction, a 50% B&O tax break if
For
the
5 years?
construction is in excess of $10,000 or more. And new construction, new businesses would be 50% B&O tax reduction.
If they relocate here.
On new
Right,
construction.
if they relocate.
Yes,
And that's for 5 years, right?
We'll have that
For the
on
new
agenda for
construction.
December to talk about.
That's 5 years.
Mhm.
That's for 5 years, correct?
5 years, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I have an item that came out of our ordinance review and charter. I would like to suggest that we move our elections to go along with the county, have the county to handle the elections for us. It's something that we'll have to do kind of quick so that we can notify people in January. So I talked with the Secretary of State today, and he said that it doesn't have to be on the ballot if the charter change is fine. And he's going to send me some examples. So I'd just like to have that next month so we can discuss it.
Okay.
It will
Demita?
save money for
There you go.
the city, about probably around $15,000 for us doing an election. And plus a lot of time and heartache,
Efficiency.
time and heartache. We'll have to do the one in 23. We still have to do that one. And then, but we'll have to decide if we want the people running in 23 to have a 3-year term or a 5-year term so that we can line up with the election for the county. So if you want it on a presidential election, you'll have to extend the term 5 years. If you want it on the off year, then it would be 3 years.
For the next council.
Yes.
So we don't have to talk about this until December.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, future agenda item.
I'm going to.
Mayor, move we adjourn.
Second.
Well, it's been properly moved. I was just getting ready to adjourn it without that. With no other business before the city of Oak Hill, I declare this meeting adjourned.
Amen. I want a copy of the card thing. It's here.